What's going on, American truckers? Hope everybody out there is doing great, staying safe, and staying out of trouble. Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper, and this is the voice of yours truly, Old Snapper. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, all that stuff that YouTubers say. We're going to talk about things that are lowering freight rates, some of the things that we do out here that are lowering freight rates. This thing that I'm going to talk about, you may already know about it, and you may not. I wasn't made aware of it until earlier this week. Actually, it was brought to my attention, and I kind of laughed about it at first. And then, as some of y'all know, I've interviewed a broker on here. I know some brokers, and I've taken a couple brokerage classes myself. And so I know a little bit of people in that world, right? So I went and checked it out, talked to them, find out if some of this is going on like what I thought. Well, there is something that's helping lower freight rates. It's one of the things, one of the tools that's used. And I believe a lot of owner operators don't realize it. And I'm not sure if a lot of companies realize it. And maybe the bigger companies probably don't care, because they can operate for a lot lower money, right? But you're probably wondering what that is. And that's these tracking devices that some of these brokers require you to download. MacroPoint is a big one that a lot of them use. And they'll tell you it so they can track the load and all that and update the customer, which it is. That was the original intent of those apps. But there's also another intent to those apps. The other intent to those apps is it's like this: it gives them a better count as to trucks available when empty in a certain area. Therefore, it gives them, since they have a better count, they can say, okay, we know between how many people were on these platforms that got empty in Dallas, Texas today, plus because another thing they use is the factoring companies, plus what the factoring companies are sending back for how many people factor loads that they emptied out on here within the last 24 or 48 hours. And they'll say, okay, so we've got 1,000 trucks available in Dallas, Texas right now. We've got 800 loads. So we can drop the price on these loads, and these brokers will compile that information, and it helps them lower the price on these loads, not just the brokers, but the customers as well. They have a better, accurate count of who's in the area. I don't know if some of y'all remember, but back in the old days, you had to post your truck available, and that's the only way they could count it. They would get on and say, okay, well, there's 200 trucks posted available in the area. And believe it or not, there might be 1,000 trucks there. But since they weren't posted available, it made it look like there was less. And the less trucks it looks like there's in an area, the higher those freight rates are going to be. The more trucks they know are in an area, the lower those freight rates will be. It's supply and demand. So it kind of blew my mind, but they are using this new technology as another form to be able to track how many trucks are available in an area. Because and you might be saying, well, you use this while you're under the load. Well, yes, but it also knows when you're not under the load because you close it out, you complete your trip or whatever, and the area you completed your trip in. Everybody else that came into that area, they completed trips there that day when they got empty and everything. It has it down to the minute. So it knows how many people are in that, how many trucks are available in that area. It's made it easier for them to accurately count that. So in essence, these tracking apps that these brokers are having you download, whatever system they're using, it's it's lowering freight rates. It's helping to lower freight rates. It's working against you as an owner operator. I'm sure some of y'all are probably aware of this because I know a lot of owner operators just flat refuse to download them. Some brokers will charge a fine if you don't download them, and some owner operators will pay that fine rather than download them because they don't want to give the system any more information to help them lower the rates. Sometimes that fine may be better off than lower rates on the other end. I found this kind of mind blowing. I did verify it talking to some brokers and doing some research, and I wanted to put it out there to kind of warn everybody else, if they aren't aware of this situation, that this is what's happening. These tracking apps that the customers are requiring or wanting drivers to download when they pick up a load is ultimately working against the driver on the other end of the load. So keep this in mind. I wish I had more of the technical terms for how it's done, but as y'all know, man, I'm an old country boy from South Texas, man. There ain't a whole lot of technical to me, and just kind of give you the gist of how they're doing it. But anyway, keep that in mind. If you can avoid downloading these apps from the brokers, I would advise avoid downloading them. I would advise sharing this out. Let everybody else know, hey, look, quit downloading this stuff. This stuff's working against us in the industry. It's lowering the freight rates across the board. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all this evening. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that stopped by. It's not going to be a long one. I appreciate all of y'all that watch my videos and support my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Y'all stay safe, take care, and keep trucking.